Our little kitten has claws and loves to use them. To spare our house and furniture, we decided to build her a new scratching post. Follow along if you would like to build one too. So first step is we want to cut the 1/2-inch plywood to an 18 by 18 inch square. I was just using whatever I had left over in the house, scrap plywood, but 1/2 inch is a good thickness. Keeps it a little sturdier without making it too heavy. If it's not exactly 18 by 18, that's fine, but the wider base helps so it doesn't tip when the cat is scratching on the post. Next up, I am marking 2x4s to a 3-foot length and cutting them. You could use a 4x4, but this is again just scrap wood, so I just cut 2 of the 2x4s to 3-foot lengths. Little sanding, don't want to get any splinters in your kitty cat's paws. And because it was all scrap wood, I'm just removing some staples that were in there. And because it's 2 2x4s instead of just a 4x4, I'm taping them together so I can screw them together and make sure that the bottom and top are level. Pre-drill your holes, otherwise you'll split the wood. Highly recommended. Then I just marked which way I wanted up and which way was going to be the front. Not that it really matters once it's covered in rope. All right, this is the part where I'm trying to find the center of the plywood. I made a whole lot of lines. It was probably overkill on the way I tried to do this. You could probably eyeball it and it would be fine. But things like that really bug me, so a whole lot of measurements. Then I just traced where the 2x4s would be for the middle, so I could pre-drill some holes that would come up from the bottom side and go into the 2x4s. This part would be helpful to have someone else help you with. I'm balancing the 2x4 underneath so I can pre-drill the holes down into it, again, so it doesn't cause any of the wood to split. because I pre-drilled holes, I want to make sure they line up, just marking where the front is again. And time to cut some carpet. This was some scrap carpet from my dad. It was great. Didn't have to buy any, but you can just go and get small carpet squares from your local hardware store. The trickiest part here is to try and measure correctly where the center hole needs to be cut for the 2x4 to fit through, and the carpet will be snug up against it. Just marking which sides of the tape need to be cut. Then trace your 2x4 on there in the middle just to make sure. And cut away. Watch your fingers. No need to get blood all over everything. I'm just using a utility knife to cut this. Worked pretty good. Helps if you have a sharp new blade in there. And then remove your center hole. Here I'm just gluing the edges of where I cut to keep the ends from fraying. Not sure if it's going to matter or not, but figure why not. Just some Elmer's glue. And then time to start wrapping the sisal rope around your 2x4 or 4x4 structure. Start with a bit of hot glue on the bottom, or the side bottom, I guess. Put some staples in there as extra, just to keep the end from flying off while you're turning it and spinning it around and around for a few hours, I believe this took me. So I put a couple of staples in the first few rows as well as the glue, and then ended up just gluing almost every row or every other row. I don't know if it was on every side, but it really felt like it because it took way longer than I thought it should have. But I really didn't want, I've seen cat scratchers, and I've made one before where the rope just falls off after they start scratching it if it's not adhered somehow. So I went a little crazy and had a whole bunch of hot glue sticks. So all right, when you get close to the top, you're going to want to figure out where the end of the rope will be. Wrap it with tape, and then cut it so it doesn't fray. Put a little glue down, and then staple the last row or two. And we had, my dad also had some carpet tape left over, so we had the pleasure of using high quality carpet tape. I don't know if that's necessary either. You could probably just use some hot glue or Elmer's glue to glue the carpet down. Or double-sided tape, I'm sure would also be just fine. But this is carpet tape if you're wondering why it looks funny. So we're just putting this on the base plywood. The hardest part was taking off the backing of the tape. You'll want to do one edge at a time if you're using this or any kind of double-sided tape. Put that side down so it's lined up properly, and then you can lift up the rest of the carpet to take the rest of the tape off. Then you'll be sure that all of the sides and edges are lined up and the hole in the middle is lined up properly. And it says to squish it down, so that's what I was doing. All right, then attach your 2x4 or 4x4 to the base. I just used some 4 screws into the bottom that I had pre-drilled before. And then you add your top cap, which I just found as a porch post topper, I guess. Just turn that upside down just to give it a more finished look. Pre-drill the holes in that and screw it on. And there you go, there's your finished piece. 3-foot tall cat scratcher. That way, when they grow from kitten size to adult size, they can still stretch up the whole thing. And there you have it, one happy kitty. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.